Hello Archomano, how you're doing? My air conditioning unit is on, so it might have a strange whirring background sound, but hopefully not, we'll see. So today I'm reviewing Citizen Queen by Juliette Has a Gun. This fragrance came at me sideways, out of nowhere. I never expected to smell it, let alone fall in love and buy it within 4 days of smelling it. It just jumped out of nowhere and it is swoon-worthy is a good word for it, I would say. If you don't know already, Juliette Has a Gun is a company that is made by Nina Ricci's grandson, Romano Ricci. He's made his own fragrance line. He originally had the idea to make 5 fragrances, all based around Rose, and also Juliette from Romeo and Juliet, would you call her a heroine? I don't know, the tragic, famous woman. They're all based around that, and the reason he based it around Rose is because, in his eyes, the rose is still the most romantic gift you can ever give to a woman. Excuse me. Or a man. So, the line has, well, there's more now, there's 14 fragrances. At the time I think there was only a plan for 5, but obviously it works. And the line is all based around romanticism and gorgeousness. I do have 9 other samples, maybe 7, of this company, so I will be reviewing them. I always say that, I'll be reviewing them soon. I have so many to do. I have this many fragrance reviews to do. Maybe this much, I don't know, it's a lot. And I will get to them eventually before I die. So this one, like I said, came out of nowhere. I went to Roulier White before, I might have mentioned that before. If you haven't watched the video, I'll put it up here somewhere. It's a gorgeous shop in South West London, and they have an entire niche perfumery at the back, and you can tinker around and smell whatever you want, and I did. And this was one of the first ones I picked up because of this going on. This shiny bottle. Instant love. I sprayed it on myself, went home and just thought, God, I need to get this. So, this is the bottle. I will bring it close. It's mirrored and it has this intricate design. It looks like vines and roses. There's an aeroplane on there. There's moons and stars. I don't know if you can see it that close. Their logo is pretty cool as well. It's just very beautiful. The whole line, the packaging's lovely. I don't have the box for this. They come in velvet boxes with bows on, and it's just a very pretty frou-frou affair, I think. But yeah. So the notes. This has a dreamy composition. It's so beautiful. It's a floral woody musk. It came out in 2008. It was the 3rd fragrance that they released in their collection. It's also described as a chypre aldehyde with an animalic dose. So the notes are wonderful. So you have iris, leather, rose, most importantly, because that's what the whole thing is based around, company is based around. Then you have amber, musk, immortelle. Now immortelle is a flower that I'm not too familiar with. I don't know what it smells like on its own, but it seems to be some kind of magical flower, and any kind of composition that has immortelle in it, I seem to gravitate towards. I need to get my hands on it somehow. Then you have labdanum, resinous kind of dark feel, aldehydes, which in this case are kind of soapy and clean, powdery notes, bergamot, musk, and then resins. And this is absolutely stunning. It is swoon-worthy. It's only every so often that a fragrance really not evokes emotion in me, but when I smell it, I just kind of, you just kind of go, I just want to hug it like this. It's a warm, cozy hug of a fragrance. So it's been drying on this hand for a while. I haven't said that for a while. So, okay, mine's 100ml. It's an eau de parfum as well. It's just beautiful. Let me just... So this touches on so many different elements. Overall, it's a powdery fragrance. I'm not going to try and make any bones about it. It's a powdery fragrance, but it's so much more than that as well. It has so many elements that balance it out, so it's not just your regular iris fragrance. Iris is one of the most powdery and gorgeous almost kind of classic kind of notes, but in this it is more modern. And the first thing I'll say about it as a tip would be, if you like Shalimar by Guerlain, but you can't get over the kind of classic, kind of mature feel of it, because it does have that throwback feel. This is the modern version of Shalimar. I think I probably even prefer it. It's got everything that Shalimar has and a few bits extra. It is powdery. It has enough punchy notes behind it in a resinous form that it's weighty as well. It's not ethereal and floaty. It's more kind of dreamy smelling. It's got a lactonic feel, so it's a little bit milky. Oh god, it has a kind of fruity twang in a weird way, but only a tiny bit. This is more about the kind of dreamy notes. It's kind of creamy. It's kind of, I know I said about feeling things when I smell perfumes. It kind of makes me feel like what heaven would smell like. Don't shoot me down for that, because that's very weird, but through the pearly gates, it's going to smell like this. It's white, it's creamy, it's ivory colours, and the aldehydes in it give it that kind of crisp, clean kind of feel. There's a woodiness to it that is only just touching in the background. I always say about woods where they can be real wood, like pencil shavings, kind of like oak, but in this, the woods give it just that tiny bit of a twang of something a little bit sexy, and so beautiful. Really, I mean, I'm probably going to gush over it. I hate it when I gush in fragrance reviews, but I can't help it. Despite its softness, it isn't weak, which is another plus. It's got a gorgeous sillage. It projects enough. It hangs, you know, sillage, it hangs around enough behind you. This isn't something that is a fleeting fragrance at all. It's got power. So it's one of those perfect combinations of, it actually smells soft, but it's powerful too. So again, masterpiece. Soft resins, powder, something a little bit floral, lactonic. I always want to go to the Peter Pan pose. The leather gives it, like I said, just enough weight. I'm going to go into some crazy metaphorical thing, because I usually do that. Think of this fragrance as a sphere. The outside of it, or the outer lying notes of it, are the powdery parts. That's what it ultimately is. But the core of it is where it doesn't rest on its laurels of being a powdery fragrance. It's got enough punch behind it, and I've said that before. Bo, please be quiet. Please. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, and that's it. If you want to smell ultra feminine and gorgeous and kind of classic, but you don't want to buy a fragrance that is typically classic and dated or vintage, as some people put it. I'm not going to say the awful word that a lot of people say. If you want to smell almost throwback, but modern, powdery, feminine and sultry gorgeousness, this is the one. Okay, and Bo agrees. Hug. I'm at Shomano. Click my logo to subscribe. I'm going to stop talking about this before I just go on and on and on and on and on. You get the gist, right? Good night. Juliette has a gone. Citizen Queen.